Welcome back to Wrestling World. We have a lot of interesting topics to touch on for today's wrestling news. We'll be discussing plans for Otis to lose his Money in the Bank briefcase, Miz and Maryse's announcement, and Retribution's issues. So let's start things off with the Otis plans, because this has been a hot topic lately. So Otis won the Money in the Bank ladder match earlier this year, and that big win was surrounded by controversy and discussion from fans. First thing that fans mentioned was how Otis never climbed up the ladder and unhooked the briefcase. The rules for the Money in the Bank match states that the winner must climb up and unhook the briefcase. Otis never did that. The briefcase was fumbled on top of the ladder, and it just happened to fall into Otis's hands, who was standing in the ring. So that right there seems to be against the long-term rules of the match, but Otis was declared the winner. Everything seemed to be going well for Otis. He had Mandy Rose, and now he was Mr. Money in the Bank. WWE did tease a potential cash-in shortly after he won the case. Otis did team up with Universal Champion at the time, Braun Strowman. There was a few instances where it seemed like Otis was at least entertaining the thought of cashing in on Strowman, but nothing happened. Otis then disappeared for several months without explanation, which was extremely weird. But the belief is that maybe he was sick during that time, all three of them. Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, and Otis all went missing around the same time, and then they all returned in the same night several months later. So having your Money in the Bank holder just absent for several weeks was strange. But if he was in fact sick, then it's understandable. But Otis returned, and still not much has happened to really progress the idea of him cashing in. Right now, we're in the middle of a storyline where The Miz and John Morrison are both trying to sue Otis for the Money in the Bank contract, which is a very unusual storyline. We've seen superstars put briefcases on the line in matches, but we've never seen anyone lose it from a storyline lawsuit. Like we mentioned a few weeks ago, the plan for Otis's Money in the Bank future looks very foggy right now. Roman Reigns isn't losing the title anytime soon, so Otis can't cash in successfully on him on Smackdown. Even if Otis gets shifted to Raw, can I see him cashing in on Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, or whoever is the WWE champion at the time? No, not really. It's nothing against Otis. I love the character. He's really fun and entertaining to watch, but from a realistic perspective, I still can't imagine him successfully pinning Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, or any other huge star like that for a world title. That's where the rumor first came from, that WWE could possibly be looking for a way to move on from Otis as Mr. Money in the Bank. That doesn't mean have him cash in unsuccessfully, but it could be canceling his Money in the Bank run and having another superstar win the briefcase from him. According to these new reports, there has been several great storyline ideas for Otis to lose the Money in the Bank contract, but there is one main issue. Vince McMahon is the biggest Otis fan, and it's very unlikely for him to approve any of those ideas for Otis to drop the Money in the Bank. That's why it seems like WWE is playing around with the idea of Otis losing it, but nothing is actually happening there. But it still looks very shaky, and there's a high possibility that Otis could just lose the briefcase in the future. Next up is The Miz and Maryse's huge announcement. As you may know already, The Miz and Maryse are the stars of the reality show Miz and Mrs. The first few seasons of the show did absolutely amazing with the ratings and with the fans. The show averaged 1 million viewers per episode and had a total viewership of 21 million viewers across the first season. The show wrapped up its last few episodes in early 2020, and the scariest part after that was the uncertainty of the show's future. Especially with the pandemic going on, it was a risk to start letting the camera crews and everyone else come on set. However, the great news and emotional part about this was that they were able to pull it off. They filmed the new episode, and the release date was just announced by WWE. Miz and Mrs. will be returning in early November. So that's some absolutely great news that we're in fact getting new episodes. Miz and Maryse have both been very excited and have been putting out several messages to hype up the show's big return. Retribution may already be down one member of the stable. We were introduced to 5 main members of Retribution in recent weeks, but it seems like WWE might have already canceled the plans for one of those 5 members. The one member being Mercedes Martinez. All of this started from Twitter from Retribution's leader Ali. Ali posted the tweet that said, "They asked why. We said, why not?" And then tagged T-Bar, Mace, Reckoning, and Slapjack. Ali then posted this great picture with all their backstories and what led them to join Retribution. We see Slapjack standing next to MVP from Raw earlier this year, but MVP never ended up doing anything for him. We see T-Bar laid out in the ring as Keith Lee stood over him. We see Mia Yim getting examined backstage after an attack. We see Mace getting thrown through a table by Brock Lesnar. Yeah, if you haven't noticed by now, Retribution member Mace used to be a commentator on Monday Night Raw last fall. He stood up to Brock Lesnar before getting thrown through a table and never heard from again, so he has a strong case for being upset with WWE. We then see Ali in the middle of the picture from his Money in the Bank moment. Just in case you forgot what happened there, that moment was when Ali was all alone on the top of the ladder and ready to grab the Money in the Bank briefcase. But then Brock Lesnar, who wasn't even in the match, ran down, attacked Ali, and took the briefcase for himself. Ali never mentioned Mercedes Martinez in the post or the image of their backstories. So that's leading many to believe that she's been pulled from the group and her Retribution persona has been cancelled. So that's unfortunate if it is true, and it definitely looks true because how can Ali leave her out of the post if she's still part of the group? So Mercedes may actually be gone from the group, but I still enjoyed the post by Ali. That's why I've been saying that I love the decision for Ali to be the leader, because he has the backstory and the reasoning to lead this group. He's been one of the most poorly used talented superstars, just like that moment he posted of him being right there, about to win the Money in the Bank. But WWE's golden boy, Brock Lesnar, comes running down the ramp and takes that moment from him. So it's a lot of deep backstory there. It's unfortunate and a strange thing to say, but Ali's one Twitter post honestly gave us more backstory to Retribution than Raw has given in months. So I love that post, and I love when WWE superstars take the storytelling into their own hands. Even though Ali explained it perfectly and made it seem like this was a long-term storyline plan, it actually wasn't. Reports claim that the decision to make Ali the leader of Retribution was actually made just a few weeks ago, out of nowhere. So you can't say it was amazing long-term storytelling, but the way everything matched up and fits in, it seems like this was a long-term plan. So that's the best part about it. Everything just makes sense and works out. But what are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's wrestling news? Do you want to see Otis lose the Money in the Bank contract? Are you excited for the new episodes of Miz and Mrs? And what are your thoughts on Mercedes Martinez being gone from Retribution? Leave your comments, don't forget to subscribe, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.